Hello everyone, I am GCROCK and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be having a look at the brand new named shotguns that came in Season 1 First Rogue of Year 6 on the Division 2. We got two named shotguns that come with Perfect Brazen, then we've also got the Brazen talent that can go on shotguns, and we played a lot with these. I liked them a lot, I loved the talent a lot, and it became about what build did these best go on and what sort of content is this going to be able to clear. Now, we put a lot of testing on all of this in stream, so what we're going to do is have a quick look at these items, what the talent does, and then we're going to have a look at a few builds and some more gameplay of it in action. The first name shotgun we'll have a look at is Like Glue. This is a Super 90 variant. Obviously, you get shotgun damage, damage to armor, you want to get damage to target out of cover on it, and you got Perfect Brazen, where you receive 3% amplified damage on the next shot with this weapon for each pellet that hits the target, if at least 4 pellets hit. Killing an enemy will provide plus 8% amplified damage on the next shot. You are able to put a couple of mods on this as well. You can see I've got crit chance on there, reload speed, and some more crit chance. The other named shotgun that came in this season is Fawn. I believe this is a Spaz 12, I want to say. And again, you're going to have shotgun damage, damage to armor. You probably want to have damage to target out of cover there over health. I've not really used this one. I will explain in a few moments. But again, you get the Perfect Brazen talent, exactly the same as the last one. The reason I haven't used the Fawn so much is just because of its reload, and you kind of got to reload after every shot like that. It's a bit of a pump shotgun there, and when you do run out of all your shotgun shells, it's just a long reload, and I wasn't liking this. It wasn't suiting the sort of build I was trying to make, so I didn't give this much of a chance at all. But when it came to the Like Glue named shotgun, the other version, I really like this one because look how quick you can get those shots out. Super quick. It does have the same sort of reload though, and that did get on my nerves in the end. But I guess this one was the best when it came to just pure damage. It's got such a faster fire rate on it. Reload speed's a bit long, but it was putting out some very high numbers, and I was able to clear off enemies very easily. I still didn't like the reload though. After playing around with them on different builds, I decided that the reload was just not good enough and I wanted something much better. So we tried a lot of other shotguns. I tried the AC-12 or ACS-12 is it? We tried the Mop. And I was kind of like finalizing on the Mop of the 10% extra armor on kill when someone in chat on the stream said, why not try the 612 to get the extra damage? Because I made the build so much more survivable, I didn't really need the 10% armor on kill. So we went away from the Mop and then finally finished on the 612 shotgun. So again, we're going to have shotgun damage, damage to armor on this, and we're going to have damage to target out of cover. And we're just going to have the normal Brazen talent, not the perfect one. This is obviously not as good as the perfect one. You don't get that additional extra damage after every kill, which is so OP, but on the builds I'm about to show you, it still works very well, and you don't need to worry about that reload. The reload is just so much better. I'll show you in a few moments. What you do get is this. You receive 3% amplified damage on the next shot with the weapon for each pellet that hits the target if at least 6 pellets hit. Now, what could be a shout, I'd guess, is to run one of these and then maybe run the Like Glue as a secondary. That'd be the best of both worlds. Again, the mods on this, you can throw some reload speed and crit chance mod on there. And you'll see that the fire rate of it is also very good. But when I do run out of the magazine, the reload is so much faster. It means that I've got sustained damage, and I think with how I was trying to run this build and the builds I put together, the sustained damage was just really important. I do miss the perfect talent, of course, but I'm about to show you a couple of builds now that this shotgun works very well on. There are two builds and I can't make my mind up which one I prefer. And I think the first question was, what sort of content was I looking to achieve with this build? And I think solo heroic is where it's at. We tried it in a group as well. It's great to run in a group to get some extra buffs without a doubt, but solo heroic was very easy with these two builds. We got one that hits harder, one that's got more survivability but still hits very hard. And I was just running through solo missions. We used Lincoln Memorial, I did down Space Museum. I don't think there's a solo heroic mission that you're not going to be able to face tank on and just fly through. It's very good, and I think this build will also do good for like solo open world as well. So if you want to do control points, if you want to do open world activities and things like that, you could also switch up some directives. This could become like a nice farming build, and it's super fun to use. Who doesn't want to kind of just run up into spawns or run up into enemies' faces and just absolutely murder them while having the self-healing to be able to do that? So that's what these builds were based around, and I have two for you. We have a striker build that is a bit more survivable. It has blue cores on it, and the idea of that is to use a shield, have a high 6 skill tier shield to use, which you can throw out at any point, but also hit very hard with the striker stacks. And then the next one is a Hunter's Fury build. The Hunter's Fury build is all red. It's about having as much damage as possible, I imagine, but still having that self-healing that you get through the gear set. So let's have a quick look at these two builds. So this is the Hunter's Fury build, and it's very similar to the Striker build. But the Striker one, you're just going to be putting on a different chest and then taking out the 4 Hunter's Fury and replacing them with Striker. You're still going to be using the Memento. So we're going to start with the Flamethrower specialization. We're going to be using that for the Striker shield. That is going to give us extra damage when we bring that out to targets in front of us. They're like right in front of us. But also we can give our teammates, if we're playing with teammates, extra damage to target that's standing behind us. So that's what we go with for that. And then of course we've just told you we like the, well, I like the 612 shotgun. We've got shotgun damage, damage to armor, damage target out of cover, and just the brazen talent there. I'm in love with this shotgun on the build, and for me it's the best one even over the named. I just got the Overlord there because I was going to give that a go. I haven't made my mind up on that yet. I have no idea what to do with it. But as I just said earlier on, you probably want to throw the light glue on here because that perfect talent is very good, mainly because killing an enemy will provide 8% amplified damage on the next shot. So you just always got that every time you kill an enemy. It is very good. It's just the reload that I just can't use it as my main. So maybe that's the best way to set up for your weapons, having both of them, then sidearm whatever you want. And then with the gear pieces, we've got a Hunter's Fury mask. On this, you just want to put crit damage and a crit damage mod. We have the Memento backpack, which is giving us weapon damage, armor, skill tier. Put crit damage mod on there and you're good to go. You're going to be getting 2 skill tiers for your shield off this as well, the skill tier and the armor. And then we have the Cheska chest piece with Obliterate. This is giving us 10% crit chance. We got crit chance, crit damage roll with a crit damage mod. And Obliterate is going to increase your weapon damage up to 25% once you got the stacks. That's very good. And then we got the gloves Hunter's Fury. This has got crit damage on. The knee pads Hunter's Fury with crit damage on, and then the holster Hunter's Fury with crit damage on. Again, you want to use that shield, get a revive 5 in case you go down. And the stats look like this. You're looking at 35.8% crit chance and 136 crit damage. I wouldn't worry too much about those numbers. You can increase the chance if you want to, and then lower the damage if you want. Whatever. I went in like this and the build absolutely wrecked. We are going through solo heroic very, very easily. And I also ran in a group of 4 and it still performed very, very well. Someone ran a striker build and he did out damage me, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't far away. I think I was something like 300 mil off at the end of the mission, which it sounds a lot, but it's not. And compared to like the meta of the game, and you're that close, it's feasible, and it was super fun to play with at the same time. The other version of the build, which is with Striker, it probably for me wins. They both have the bonuses. Obviously, Hunter's Fury, how that works, you're getting the extra shotgun damage or SMG damage if you want to, so you could throw an SMG on there as well, stuff like the Ouroboros mainly. We also have all those debuffs. When you get close to the enemy, you're going to be staggering them or disorienting them. If you kill them, you buff your damage again. It definitely is the harder hitting build, but this Striker build just came with a ton of survivability. So where the Hunter's Fury didn't really have that, if you made a mistake and you got caught up, it was quite easy to be sent down. Whereas the Striker build, you could make a mistake and you could recover from it, as you're seeing on screen now. You know, there's a lot of recovery with the Memento backpack and the way this build is made with all of the blue cores. And here it is. So you'll see this is pretty much the same as the Hunter's Fury one. We have changed a few things about. We've took Hunter's Fury out, but Strikers in, and we've changed the chest piece. Everything else though is pretty much the same. We've got the Firewall specialization. Again, this is for the Striker shield, and it's that extra damage we're going to get to enemies in front of us when we pull it out. Now, what I did forget to mention on the Hunter's Fury, if you go into mod this, just make sure you put on the extra damage bonus to enemies in front of you. You can get these mods. I've got a 1% max in that slot there and a 5% max in that slot there. In the other slot, I've got active regeneration. There's nothing really in that slot that works. But yeah, there's some other mods as well to look at if you don't have these, including some special firewall ones. It's a great shield though. To pull out, you will get extra damage to enemies in front of you using the firewall. So it's very good. Use a revive hive or whatever else is the other skill, and then the build looks like this. We're going to start with the weapons because there's a little bit of a change that you're going to want to do here. So before we went the 612 and the light glue, we're going to be using the same weapon again in form of the 612, the damage target out of cover, and brazen. However, because we're using strikers now, you want to be able to stack up your striker stacks very quickly. You know how strikers works. We're not going to go over that, but you need to get those stacks up. So a good gun to do that with, you can use the lefty, use an ACS 12, whatever you want. We're going to throw this ACS 12 on, mainly because I can change the talent to brazen as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that ACS 12 to get my striker stacks maximum, and then going to switch to the 612 and use that while my stacks are high. If my stacks go low, I'll switch again to get the stacks up, and so on. You get the point. Sidearm doesn't matter. And if we have a look at the gear pieces, we've got our mask with armor, crit damage, and a crit damage mod. We've got the Memento backpack with crit damage mod. We have the gloves with armor and a crit damage attribute roll. Same with the knee pads, armor and crit damage. And then we've got the holster with weapon damage and crit damage. The chest piece we're going to use for this, just to add a little bit more survivability to the build, is we're going to use Palisade Steelworks. This gives 10% armor on kill, so you are getting that armor on kill back. You're gonna have an armor roll on this as well. I got crit chance and crit damage and a crit damage mod, and I've also got intimidate. Because of all this armor we've got, obliterate would be great, but intimidate, you're gonna have bonus armor a lot of the time. I will show you the clip in a minute of this build in action, and when you have that bonus armor, you're gaining stacks each second up to a maximum of 9 stacks, and each stack increases weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. You're always going to be within 10 meters. That's what you're aiming to do. You're aiming to get close. And because the bonus armor is going to be on a lot of the times by picking up the Memento trophies that are on the floor, you will take full advantage of this talent. If you feel you're not taking full advantage of it, switch it to obliterate, and it's still going to work very, very good. You could also take Palisade out. I just wanted some armor on kill, just for that extra bit of survivability. So if I do take a hit and I get my bonus armor, I don't need to take a med kit. I could just keep on killing to get my armor back up, even though it's just 10%. It works very well on this build. If you don't think that's needed though, switch this out for Cheska. Still have the armor, crit chance and crit damage, and increase your crit chance. It would kind of make sense. Now the stats on this build are worse than the Hunter's Fury. You've only got 24% crit chance and 128.9 crit damage. By all means, put in some chance mods instead of damage mods to get that higher and to lower the hit damage, but it's up to you. It still hits super hard. We're not really focusing this build around crits. I'm going to show you some gameplay of it now. Again, it's going to be used for the same sort of purpose as the Hunter's Fury. This is going to be great on heroic content, whether that be missions or open world. This even more so because of the amount of extra survivability. We're about to go into a rogue encounter. I'm a little bit nervous at first because I think they're going to destroy me, but you'll see how the encounter ends. It's real good. Now, again, you're really heavily relying on those memento trophy drops. When you see those trophies drop, make sure you pick those up. They're going to be giving you the bonus armor to proc Intimidate. They're also going to be looking after your shield, making that survive more, and it's very, very handy. I know you got a 6 skill tier shield anyway, but it can still get destroyed quite quickly. So make sure you're picking up those trophies. And as you're doing that, the shield is going to be a huge benefit to you. I hate using the shield, but you'll kind of just pull it out as you get to the target, and you'll use it so they just can't hit back, basically. Look at me on this rogue now. I can face tank him. I can do some very good damage with the 612 here. He's got no chance. They really have no chance. Just play smart with it. I think this is going to be great for this sort of content. And the more enemies, the better. The more enemies you kill, the more trophies you're picking up, and you'll keep that bonus armor pretty much throughout all of the missions, I'm gonna say. If even in the open world you probably keep it, it doesn't decay that fast. As long as you can keep on killing enemies at a quick pace, you'll keep that bonus armor, and Intimidate will be procced at max for a lengthy amount of time. Those rogue agents just got deleted. I think this new talent is brilliant. It's given me a new way to play. I like playing aggressive anyway. I know we've got like Hunter's Fury and Striker SMG builds that work very, very well, but there's something different about the shotgun. There's something nice about just getting all your procs and 1 popping red and purple bars and 2 popping elites. Just take a look at this last clip from the end of the mission. I am about to take on 3 named enemies, and we absolutely destroy them. You can see my bonus armor is proc there, and again, the beauty of this build with all the blue cores is that that extra bonus armor being procced, I think it's a percentage of the armor you have, so you just get more of it. I was playing in a group, and my team was telling me that it looked like I had armor for days at time, like 2-3 million bonus armor is insane, and they just don't have a chance. Look how hard it is hitting, even with all the blue cores. Because we've got max striker stacks, I'm still hitting super hard. I might have low crit chance, but it doesn't matter. It's a brilliant build for this type of content and a brilliant build for open world activities. I think it's a great talent, and I'm gonna say it's the best thing that has came in this new season on the Division 2. I highly rate it. Let me know what you think, and please let me know what sort of builds you're putting together as well with these new shotguns. I know a lot of people like the like glue. I just can't get over the reload, but maybe I should do. Let me know down in the video comments. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit like, subscribe for more content, and until the next time, take care and peace out.